All right, 30 days in Vegas, day number 3, going strong, feeling great. I'm leaving the Golden Nugget and I'm off to the Bellagio. I am really excited to get back to the Bellagio because I said I would never go back until the rooms have been remodeled. And I believe all the rooms have finally been remodeled. I think they've been remodeled for a little while, but you never know because they were apparently remodeled at New York, New York. I booked a remodeled room at New York, New York, and I didn't get a remodeled room at New York, New York, and we all know how that video and that experience went. So I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm pretty sure I finally got a remodeled room at the Bellagio, and I'm really looking forward to that stay. I'm going to have some great dinners there. I'm definitely going to go over budget, and that's actually the topic of my video today. I want to have a conversation with you. Definitely let me know how you do it. I want to talk about what my budget is. Okay, I get asked this all the time, James, what is your budget? Is it unlimited? Does it take a back seat to your content? Do you focus on the content first and whatever kind of accrues in your expenses, it is what it is? Or do you have a budget per hotel and do you stick to it? Do you have a budget per your trip? And these are all great questions. I'm gonna let you know how I do it, and I wanna hear how you do it. I've heard some really brilliant things from you guys in your comments. One person said, and whoever this is, speak up, they said, my budget in Vegas is $500 a day. For however many days I stay. It's $500 a day. So if I get a cheap room for $50 or $100 a night, I have $400 for dinner, drinks, and gambling. Or if I want to stay at a nicer hotel, $300 a night, I just have a couple $100 a day for expenses. I think that's brilliant. And that is actually kind of where I am sometimes in my stays. So I just want to talk about that. I'm just talking about regular Vegas trips, by the way. Just a standard trip, not one with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whomever, and it's, you know, a special occasion, not one for a bachelorette party or a birthday. I'm just talking a standard Vegas trip. You go into Vegas just for a regular trip. What is your budget? And by the way, when I put out these dollar terms, I'm going to consider myself at a hotel for 3 nights because that's what I usually stay at. So for 3 nights in Las Vegas, here is how I do it. Mine shifts. Mine is kind of malleable. It really depends on where I'm staying. And by the way, real quick, I am not counting transportation. How you get to Vegas is on you. You may decide to drive from LA. You may take a flight from Canada or from Europe. You may just live outside the city limits. I can't account for where you travel from, so I'm going to exclude that. But once you get to Vegas, once you're here, what is the budget like? So as I was saying, mine kind of shifts. It really depends on the hotel that I'm staying at. I do like to kind of have a budget. It's not a hard budget, but I do have a dollar amount that I kind of want to be at for each hotel. I would say for my entry-level hotels, because I only focus on luxury hotels. So for me, for an entry-level luxury hotel, I consider that maybe 4-star, kind of, like a New York, New York, a Golden Nugget right here. Strat, I don't know if Strat's 4-star, but it's an entry-level hotel for me. I like to keep those around $1,000. Okay, so for 3 nights, I like to keep those at around $1,000. And what I like to do is I like to do my most extravagant and lavish spending right away because I don't want to get to a hotel and be thinking about a budget. I don't want to get to the hotel and be kind of pinching pennies until my last night. I like to do it a little opposite. So I like to go big right away. That way I know that I can put it in the budget. And if I need to taper down the budget on my 2nd or 3rd night, I can do that. But I don't like to hold back at all. I'd rather do like the best thing or the most lavish or extravagant thing right away. So for an example here at the Golden Nugget, I had my crazy dinner, my epic dinner at Vic and Anthony's, which was $300. I had that right away. And if I could see my budget is getting a little tight over day 2 or 3, I could kind of ratchet that down. So for entry-level hotels, I like to keep that around $1,000. For mid hotels, again, mid is kind of vague. I would consider like the Mirage a mid hotel. Caesar's Palace, kinda. MGM Grand is definitely a mid 4.5-star hotel. I can definitely say I'm going to go over my budget at MGM Grand on this trip because I got some pretty special things planned. But generally speaking, for mid hotels, I like to bump it up to another $500. So $1,500 is where I'd like to be for these mid-level hotels. And that's why I really agree with the person that said $500 a day is a great barometer because that puts me right there, right? $500 a day times 3 nights at a mid-level hotel, a Caesars or an MGM Grand, that is $1,500. So that's why I really like that rule of thumb that person said. I like to crank it up a little bit for the mids because there are more dining options. There are typically more lounges. And because they are a mid hotel, typically they're a bit more expensive. So for a mid-level hotel, I like to keep it around 1,500. And then lastly, I have the five-star hotels or the premium hotels or the marquee hotels. We're talking about the Palazzo, Venetian, Wynn, Encore, Cosmopolitan, Aria. For these, my budget for 3 nights is I like to be around $2,000. A lot of times I will come under, but where this $2,000 is, I think for me, is at least key is because the room rates typically on these hotels can get a little astronomical, especially during the summer. And especially on the weekends. During a summer weekend or NFL weekend, you may see these rooms, go for $300, $400, $500 a night. That is absolutely going to put me over my $2,000 budget, but at least I have a little bit more wiggle room if the room rates do increase. If those room rates, for example, are $300 a night, that puts me at around $1,000 just for the rooms, and then I have another $1,000 over the course of 3 nights to spend on dinners and drinks or whatever. And I think, $300 to $400 a night at a Cosmo, at a Wynn, at a Palazzo, at an Aria, I think it's going to give you some comfortability. You can have a couple $100 dinner. You might be able to go to a lounge. You might be able to even, go in on some bottle service or a table or something like that, depending if you have some more people with you. So I think that's a great stipend to have. So for me, I just kind of have a general sense of where I want to be. If I go a little over, for example, at the Golden Nugget, I wanted to be around $1,000. It was $1,080. No big deal at all. And for me also, I string these hotels together. This is hotel number 1. I have 8 remaining. I kind of know what I have on the horizon. So if I did go a little big on this one, I can maybe ratchet it down at a Link. I can maybe ratchet it down at a Harrah's or something like that. So if I do go really big on one and I'm kind of a little upset with myself, I can always ratchet it down on another hotel. So that's pretty much how I do things in Vegas. I'll pretty much limit this conversation to Vegas. I could talk about Punta Cana and Mexico and London and places like that, but I kind of want to keep this dialogue or monologue focused on Las Vegas. Let me know how you do it. Let me know if you focus mainly on the room rates, if you try to keep the room rates low so you can gamble more. Do you gamble a lot and try to get the room for free based off comps? Do you try to have one big dinner per stay, 2 big dinners per stay? Do you like to have one big dinner every night and really not eat any lunch? That's what I usually try to do. Lately, by going to CVS and Walgreens and just stocking up on waters and protein shakes and protein bars, I try to eat those throughout the day so I can have one big, lavish, extravagant dinner at night. That saves me a ton of money. There are a lot of ways to skin this cat, right? There's really no perfect solution. Everybody is different. Everybody Vegas is differently. So I feel everyone budgets differently. All right, so that is it for this episode, day number 3, 30 days in Vegas. I'm actually feeling fantastic. Was a little jet lagged when I got here. If you follow the channel and know me, just time in a plane. Doesn't matter if I even change time zones at all or even for an hour or two. Because I've spent so much time in altitude, I get jet lagged almost no matter what. But after these 3 days at the Golden Nugget, it was a little indulgent, it was a little casual, it was a little fun. I also had some time to relax. I'm feeling fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to getting to the Bellagio and to the rest of this trip. Again, I got some hotels that I've never stayed at before, some really, really great hotels. I've never been more excited actually to be in Vegas. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm off to my next hotel, and I'll see you tomorrow.